The internet gives water near magical powers. One glass wakes the brain, a giant bottle fixes focus, and clear urine becomes a performance score. Human experiments are less tidy. After 24 hours of water restriction, young adults showed worse episodic memory, more fatigue, and poorer mood. Drinking water improved some processing and working memory measures. But in a separate heat exercise study, 2 to 4% body mass dehydration produced almost no significant decline across a broad cognitive battery, except one accuracy measure. Hydration matters. The cognitive effect depends heavily on how dehydration happened and what you test. The first randomized trial enrolled 76 healthy adults aged 18 to 23. Participants completed baseline tests, then went through 24 hours of water restriction. Researchers measured urine and blood osmolality, memory, attention, working memory, and mood. After restriction, portrait memory scores, vigor, and self-esteem fell, while fatigue and total mood disturbance rose. Participants were then randomized to drink 1,000, 500, 200, or 0 milliliters within 10 minutes. 90 minutes later, several cognitive and mood outcomes improved in the larger water groups. The authors described 1,000 milliliters as the optimum volume among the doses they tested. That headline needs a large asterisk. The participants had just completed a controlled period of water restriction and consumed the full dose rapidly. The result does not mean every tired student should immediately drink a liter, and excess water can be dangerous. 500 milliliters also improved several measures, with no significant difference from the larger group on some outcomes. The real signal is restoration after restriction, not a universal cognitive dose. The second study created dehydration in a completely different way. 10 physically active adults exercised in 40 °C heat during 2 4-week training blocks, one with fluid replacement and one without. Body mass loss reached about 2.7 and 4.7% in dehydrated sessions. Participants then completed several executive function, reaction time, and memory tasks. Only accuracy on the Wisconsin card sorting test was significantly lower with dehydration. The other measured cognitive outcomes did not significantly decline. Even substantial exercise-related fluid loss did not uniformly impair performance across this small battery. Why the disagreement? 24-hour restriction changes thirst, mood, eating, sleep, and daily routine. Exercise in heat changes temperature, fatigue, blood flow, motivation, and practice effects. Cognitive tests also sample narrow skills. Remembering portraits is not the same as switching rules, and reaction time is not the same as judgment. Small samples can miss modest effects, while multiple tests can produce an isolated significant result by chance. The safest conclusion is not that water boosts intelligence. It is that inadequate hydration can impair particular functions under particular conditions, with mood often responding clearly. A practical approach is boring in the best way. Drink regularly across the day, use thirst and context rather than one rigid number, and increase attention to fluids during heat, exercise, illness, or long periods without access. Food contributes water too. Avoid forcing large volumes quickly and remember that some health conditions require fluid limits. If focus suddenly falls, water is one possible variable, not a replacement for sleep, food, breaks, or medical assessment. The best hydration habit prevents a large deficit, instead of attempting a dramatic rescue. The evidence-based takeaway is balanced. Severe restriction worsened memory and mood in one randomized trial, and rehydration improved selected cognitive outcomes. A demanding heat exercise study found only one significant cognitive decrement despite larger body water losses. Water is essential, but the brain is not a simple gauge that rises with every milliliter. Drink enough for your body and situation, avoid both neglect and excess, and be skeptical of precise focus promises. Hydration supports performance, it does not replace the rest of the system that creates it. Urine color and thirst can provide context, but neither is a perfect standalone diagnostic. A single cognitive mistake also cannot identify dehydration. Look for a pattern across intake, heat, activity, symptoms, and performance, and seek qualified assessment when confusion, severe weakness, or other concerning symptoms appear.